There we go. Now you should hear me. You should hear me loud and clear. Loud and clear now. This freaking market, everyone. What do we do? Market. Man. I look orange. Let's see. I don't know why my camera is always messed up. How's that? What a time to be alive. Buy low, sell high, emotional market. 2K, what did you do? I had a risk management class. I held a class, and I was demonstrating something in this account. Cause the pullback on that short. I found out where Trump stands. All right. Okay, let's get started. Let me get the risk disclosure since the Nightbot has not done it yet. Let's go to there. All right, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's the Top Step risk disclosure. Everything that it's go over is for educational purposes only. And how about these freaking markets? I took a loss. Frustrating. Very frustrating on my end. I mean, it is 1,000% my fault. I'll go over my loss. I actually took 2 losses. Sadly, 2 losses, and I'm watching this market go without me. I'll show you my 2 losses. Everyone's seen the one on fast markets, right? I tried to short. I got in short twice. I was short on this, and then I was short in this. So I took 2 shorts today, and this was a decent short. Like, this was up against a nice level of resistance, right? There's a lot of support and resistance on here, and we were rallying, and I got in short on a nice rally. This market's been in a downtrend. Now, of course, with hindsight, it looks, obviously we broke out and we changed, and now we had a gap up 400 points, and we're starting to rally. But yeah, everyone, I took a $5,000 loss, which was my daily loss limit, right? I made $10,000 Monday. Took a $5,000 loss. Sucked. That's okay. But then again tonight, I took another loss. Not in this account, my live account. That's why I'm not in my live account, because I'm done trading that one for tonight. I'm done trading it for tonight. I still have a little bit of dried powder, but another loss in my live account. And anybody can guess what that was tonight? We gapped up 400 points, and it was a freaking short. I don't know. I got in short. I got in short at 720, right around here, and it stopped me out. So here's what I was looking at. Size down. So let me show you. I actually had this marked out. Look at this, everyone. This was not a huge size. I had this marked out. I was short at 718. 718 right here. I had my stop loss below this high, and I was looking for this market to come down and test the bottom up and maybe attempt to fill some of this gap. Of course, I wasn't thinking it's going to fill this entire gap. I'm like, okay, we gapped up, and we pulled all the way down. We tested it. We came up, and like, okay, there's a decent chance we can make a higher low. I hopped in short as we started to pull back. Let me zoom. I was looking at a 100 tick chart, and I'll show you what I was looking at. If it would pull up for me. And we got this nice, kind of a push up through these 20s, right? Some resistance. And then when we came back in, I got into his short. So I'm like, okay, great. And I was up freaking 30, 40 points, right? I was in the money. I was in the money, and I closed off one position, right? I was in 5 minis, right? So I was in 5 minis. I closed out I think it was 1 or 2 contracts, basically at 84, 85. And I'm looking for this market to retest these 40s and then possibly leave a 1 contract runner to see if we could fill this gap. No, market had other plans. We freaking ripped up, hit my stop loss at 788. My stop loss was at 788. And now here we are, and NASDAQ's right here at these 680s. These 680s. Oh man, and yeah, that was a little bit of a rough one. That sucked. Yeah, bias to close the gap plus bad Tesla earnings. It was just a failed trade. It was a loss. I wish every trade would be a winner, right? If every trade was a winner, then maybe trading wouldn't be as fun as it is. It'd get boring. It's trading. All you do is just make money. It's just it's one of those. It happens. It happens. But everyone, it shows it, right? Yeah, part of the business. Good morning. Good morning to you, Aaron. Give me the money. Yeah, there's also a gap up, right? There's a gap down. There's a gap up. You can see this gap that we have right here that we only filled half of it. And then now we have a 300 point gap down. There's gaps everywhere in this market, right? And we have earnings. Tesla came out. How was Tesla? I think it was someone told me it was very negative. But yeah, Tesla's up 5%. Tesla's up 5%. Misses results, but stocks jump. Yeah, who knows? This is why I just it's so hard to trust the news and just trade the price action in front of us. And that's what I need to do a lot better. It was negative, but Tesla up. Elon said he was stepping back his time at Dodge. Fresh trim. Same haircut. Same haircut. 5% on a bad report. Yeah, what kind of market are we trading? Market could be, what do they call it? The market could stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. Whatever that saying is. Yeah, I'm still looking to short this, actually. I don't mind shorting to see if we can fill this gap. It is just a case of, that was a good setup. I'll take it again. A better one was probably, obviously, with the power of hindsight, we run stops, run stop losses, my stop loss. And stop loss is a better entry on a 3-bar reversal. And then even another entry at making a higher low, right? Or lower high, right? A lower high. And then even a safer trade is a break of that support. Now, this is hindsight. It's always easier to trade with hindsight. And now there's a lot more momentum. I was looking for the same thing to happen basically earlier, right? I was looking for it here, right? Unfortunately, that's what happens. Take a loss, and here we are. And I would not be surprised if this market starts to sell off and maybe come down and test this gap. So let's get to it. Let's go through these markets. Let's get through these markets. Not much market's just so freaking volatile still. Let's go through our regular rapid fire. And if there's a trade, I'm still going to take it. I'm going to take it like it is my live account. This is a combine, obviously. I take trades in front of you that I don't want to being serious. So let's go through this. Daily, not much changes on daily. We get, gap galore, right? Gaps everywhere. There's a gap here. It got filled. Gaps, we have one. We have one that still needs to get filled right there. We just created a new one tonight, right? Gaps everywhere. Now, not really much I really have to talk about on the daily. Still in a bearish market, to be honest. It's very hard to be either bullish or bearish. I'm going into this market this week of selling rallies and buying dips. And the rallies have just been very vicious yesterday, or today's price action, last 24 hours. Now let's look at the hourly chart. The hourly chart, what do we look at? What do we see? We did break through this, right? I was referring to, this was my mistake during the New York session. We broke through that, and I was actually selling this rally, and it looks like during the afternoon, during lunchtime, we sold off, retested this gap, or not this gap, this breakout, and then kind of rallied, to end of the day. It looks like during the New York session, I was trying to sell. Where was I? I don't know. You'll have to rewind the tape. But I was selling this rally, and it just kept going. And sure enough, we gapped up again tonight, and we came to this level of resistance. This is a level. This is another, not as big as the one down here, but this is a support resistance level. You can see how many times this market has honored it, right? You can see where we gapped. No, that's not it, but there you go. Has gapped, maybe showed this as support, has showed it as resistance, right? Support and resistance. And sure enough, we got a 3-bar reversal on the hourly chart. And if this market fills the gap, I might just sleep in. Just sleep in. I experience emotions just like everybody else. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that we are showing some resistance here. We didn't just gap and run. But will it surprise me if we do come up to these highs? To 19,000s? Can we rally up to these 19,000s? I don't see why not. It's kind of weird that, we've gapped up and like we had bad Tesla earnings. I know earnings are going to be, the focus. Tariffs going to be the focus. All that's going to be the focus. But we did have earnings for Tesla tonight, and this is just a really good example of, you might think you know something, and the market's going to react, might not react the way you think it's going to react, or it might not react in time, right? There's the same saying of that I go through as well. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you think the market's going somewhere. It matters on what the price action is doing and how we go there, right? So even though I took a short here at 718, 720, and I was looking for this gap to be filled tonight during slow markets, the fact that we ran stops, and then now if we do fill the gap, anybody could say, yeah, I was looking for this gap to get filled. We're starting to sell off now. We're right back to where my take profits were, and it doesn't matter because you traded and it already hit your stop loss. And so even though you might have an idea and you have a market setup or a trade setup, same thing happens. It really matters more about you have direction and then you have timing. And if you're wrong on either of those, you take a loss, and continues to show how important sizing down is. Called manipulation, stop losses, better entry. I need a tattoo. If I'm going to get a tattoo, that's my tattoo. Stop loss, better entry. Everyone who is short at this open, there is some stop losses, mine included, that got hit. Stop loss, better entry. Stop loss, better entry. I'm going to wake up in the morning. I'm going to repeat it 3 times. You have a $sign tattooed on your stick. Yeah, it's just, I need to repeat that over and over again since December. It sucks because started the week off plus $10,000, and now I'm still up a little bit. But I gave most of it back. Yeah. Are gaps to the wick or the body? Well, gaps is it depends on the time frame, right? Depends on the time frame. So essentially we closed. Let's go through this. I've heard traders use both the wick and the body. I use the wick too. So that's kind of where we closed. We opened up basically right there. So that's technically the gap, the way I view it. And then, yes, you could zoom in and say there is a wick there, but honestly, the gap is that basically where this candlestick opens. And then we kind of filled. We filled a little bit, and then we rallied. Filled a little bit, and then we rallied. So I'm still looking for this gap to get filled. This is a big one. It's not even Sunday night. It's a Tuesday, right? It's just a Tuesday. It's Wednesday's price action, and we're getting these gaps. Stop loss of a stop loss is a better entry. Yeah, this one's the obvious one, right? We break out, we reverse after the breakout, and then we even went and retested this, right? Head and shoulder, right? We broke out of that resistance, right? So here's the resistance. We broke out, we fell back through, we came up, we tested it, and then we failed. Right, this looks really simple with hindsight. Maybe I just tried to get too cute. I was too cute. That could be it. What trades did I take in this combine? I was teaching a class and I was short. I think I was short here. I don't know. It was during my risk management class. I was shorting this. Taco Tuesday gap up goals. All right, that's it. Let's get back to NASDAQ in a minute. Let's take a look at crude oil. Is crude oil rallying yet? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We've been talking about this all week. I know Aaron was as well. Look at where this main resistance is. It's a zone, right? Not exact lines. And we broke out, we came back, retested it, and yeah, we are rallying off of it. I could see this continuing. Next level, probably going to be up here towards 65 and a half. Maybe I should be trading crude. Why am I not trading crude? I'm over here screwing around with NASDAQ. Should be trading crude. And this one's straightforward. This is a more consistent market. Look at these nice higher lows, higher highs. Straightforward. I'm not seeing anything else. Looking for long opportunities here in crude. Let's take a look at the Nikkei, Japanese market. Wow, we had a gap and fill. We had a gap and fill. Let me jump over to the NASDAQ again. Why am I not short the NASDAQ? Huh? Let's do it. Let's short the NASDAQ for a gap fill. We're gonna go back to points. We'll go to points. There we go. We're short the NASDAQ here. And I'm gonna add to this. I don't mind risking about 20. I'll risk the $2,200 on this. See if I could add to it if we get even more of a bounce. Maybe we get a bounce up to 720s to add. Let's take a look at the Nikkei now. Yeah, look at this. Right? This is Nikkei. This is Japanese market. That was a gap. Gapped up 1.5%. We were up almost 2% here. And that just completely sold off. We almost filled it. We almost filled it here. The Japanese market. Interesting. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. And this could be an interesting one. This was from that news announcement, right? Where the hold on tariffs. We tried to break out and now we are right back into it. Can the Nikkei sell back off? Maybe we could see the 34,200s. Maybe we could go back down to the bottom of this consolidation. That one's looking interesting as well. The fact that we gapped up and filled it so fast here in the Nikkei. And then, of course, gold. Buy gold. Has that been the play? What a sell-off on gold today. 5.5%, $194. We tested 3,510, and we sold all the way off to 33.17. That's a move. Gold's volatile. And now we're bouncing off that level. And we're filling there's a gap here in gold. The gap's getting filled here in gold. Gap still has a little bit of ways to go in gold. I'm going to go back to the NAS. Let's see if we could build a position here in the NASDAQ. I'm going to get this switched over. And let's see how the NASDAQ's going to react here. Just wait for gold now. I made $1,500 from gold close, gold sell-off tips. Off that, we may be in a more risk-on environment. ES trend has turned positive. Just wait for gold. Can you explain how to trade with ticks? The same way. It's the same. I use ticks the same way I use any other chart on this. 30 seconds. Oh, this one's 30 second. Don't mind using a 30 second, a 100 tick chart. It's very close to the same. A 100 tick chart, all it does is it zooms in. It zooms in for me. It's like a Google map, right? You zoom out, use the hour, the daily, the hourly, the 5 minute, and then you could zoom in, and then you could kind of start picking up on, smaller support and resistance, smaller pivots on this. How to open 2 time frame charts like that? This button, right? That button right there, 2. And then you could click on one, change the time frame, click on the other, change the time frame. I'm gonna look for, like I said, I'm gonna risk $2,200 on this to see if we could fill the gap. Where's my stop loss going to be? Okay, I'm gonna add right there. It's probably not gonna be filling this live yet. My take profit is at 18,000. Wow. Yeah, there is a gap above as well, right? But to me, the most recent one is the most important. We gap up, gap down. Your short was doing fine until I jumped in. Sorry. Loading up slowly for a move higher, just past 150K XFA. 150K XFA with 165K balance. It could be better buy since it's at support and holding. Gaps for everyone. Gaps to the long side. Gaps to the downside. $726 is better. Anyone using the new dashboard? There's a lot of traders being transitioned to the new dashboard. I'm doing the same, looking to build a position and to take some profit at the low of the day. We're going to see if this can gap fill. And I'll continue to add to this position up to 5. Ultimately, if we break below these 72s, that's going to be it. That's going to be the money. If we break 72s, go back, test. Yeah, so what I'm looking for is if we break this, 72s, and the next level is going to be basically 40s, right? These 40s. And then looking to fill this gap. On the opposite side, yeah, if you are long, this would be a decent area long as well, to be honest. Is we sold off, we're consolidating, and there's definitely an argument to be made that this is a higher low. And then some long targets I would like to see was going to be up here to this 31 level. Right, this is a nice level of, you can see it was resistance, support, resistance, consolidating here for a minute. So there's always arguments for both sides of this market. What's the NASDAQ tilt? The NASDAQ tilt, it's about 50-50, 53% short. All right, let's get into another one. Do you find that HG moves a lot more during this time than other sessions? Becker, I do not look at HG, so I couldn't give a solid answer. Dakota, what do you think about auction market theory? Additionally, VP and or order floor market profile and the such, kind of random. There's definitely something to it, right? Hoag loves market profile. There's some really great traders that use it and find success. To me, I do understand a little bit. I don't understand enough to say, okay, this is going to help me. It probably will. It probably could. It's a lot to be looking at. I'm more of a technical trader. You kind of see it, the simplicity. But I have been struggling lately. You can see I made 10K Monday, and I just gave most of it back. Over the past 2-3 months, it's been very choppy for me. Does anyone teach zero DTEs? Nobody I know teaches zero DTEs. Copper was our signal last week for this move. You mentioned it with me and Jay. I couldn't get through the book. What's the best? Keeping a new/reset account up $800 on the old dash with a payment due, or spread the same on the new? That's up to you. That's a tough one. I like the new dashboard. There's nothing wrong with trading both, I think. Can you trade both? All in one. Dakota, don't stay in the market for a long time these days. See money, take money might be the better play. A single print TPO equals fair value gap. Request 15K payout. Biggest payout so far in my trading journey. Great work. $15,000 payout. Good work. You mentioned earlier you were teaching a risk management class. Mind sharing some tips you have, Phil? Yeah, so for the 150,000 subscribers here at Topstep, the coaches decided to do, and then the team decided to do 3 classes. I did a mindset class, a risk management class, and a technical analysis class. It was kind of very overall, but in general, I could summarize a little bit for you. I'm not going to go in as in depth as, or go as much as the class, because it was a 1-hour class. But in general, it was talking about risk management. And it's talking more about risk management, not just what you think. Everyone thinks risk management typically is, and it's true, position size, your stop loss, position size. But what people fail to think, I'm going to add to this position right here in short 4, is risk management also includes distractions, right? A big key point was my mouse. Like, look at my mouse. There's my mouse. It has a cord. I've heard plenty of stories. I experienced it myself in a middle of a trade, right? Could you imagine right now, if this was my live account and I'm in the middle of a trade and the market's moving, your mouse dies. Your mouse dies. And then you run to go find a new battery. And then you can't find a battery, right? So there's other forms of risk management. There is. It's managing not only where you get in, where you get out, managing your stop loss, managing your position size, but managing all the outside distractions, managing do you have an internet provider? Do you have a backup internet? Do you have a backup way to close your position if your internet goes out? What happens if your power goes out? Do you have your phone? Do you have a backup battery for your phone? Do you have a corded mouse? Do you have distractions? Is your spouse or kids or someone going to be coming into your office space or your computer? Talked about Dobie, where maybe a cat. If you have a pet, is it going to be jumping on your keyboard while you use the bathroom and enter you into 15 contracts long, right? So there's all these different risks that come, and it's just managing more than what you typically think. You just donated your cordless mouse. Hey, I like a cordless mouse. I like a corded mouse, or a mouse with a cord. If you have a cordless mouse, Just make sure you have batteries next to you. And I have a corded, what do you call it? Keyboard. You're really enjoying slow markets? Good. It's a tax. Yeah, everyone. It's a tax write-off now. See, this is my mouse. This is my mouse. I went and got a massage today. I got pissed off at the markets, and I went and got a massage. Yeah. Here's my keyboard. You see my keyboard? There's my keyboard. There's the tax write-off. Is that where we're going at now? Batteries last forever in the mouse? Yeah, but you never know. They'll always last until they don't. Yeah, massage is a tax write-off because it's stress because of my trading. And all these trolls on the YouTube chat got me stressed out. I require a massage. 2 massages a week to help me keep up with my job. It's a requirement. Nice, CD. My cordless mouse has a USB in case of a trade emergency. Hey, we're not going there. We're not going there. Maybe I get some music. I need to get some music going for slow markets. Yeah, everything could be a tax write-off with the right way. Boxing. No, today wasn't a boxing day. Today was a massage day. Stress relief. Lambo tax write-off because I need a vehicle to go buy food. Come on, market. This market's just not for me. I had a good Monday. I should have just called it a week. Great filibuster. No comment. 5-minute trend lines. You need to start your LLC and start getting massages. Oh yeah. Yes. Stop is a better entry. Stop is a better entry. Donald, don't be saying that. That's going to happen. Is my stop loss on this going to be a better entry? 738s. If this is, I might retire. 10K is wild. Yeah, I'm trying to size up. I'm really trying to size my account up. My position size, getting back to a bigger size. Now that I for a moment there, markets were looking a lot better, but tonight things got shook up. Here we are, up 2% again. I just want a day where we're not up or down 2%. We're always up or down 2%. Props to my trade. Sometimes it's not for the best. We're going to find out if my stop loss is a better entry here. We're going to find out together. See, Coach, how much do you put in your live account? So I don't put the money in, right? This is a prop firm. Topstep's a prop firm. And the money that got transferred over to my live account come from my profits in my XFA. So last year, I made $500,000 in profits. I withdrew most of it. I transferred over to my live account. My peak high, like the highest my balance got in my live account was like 330,000, and then I withdrew it. And now my account balance, my live account balance, is hovering between 40,000 and 60,000. It depends on the week, right? Monday it was at almost 60,000. Today it's now just under. I don't know. It's probably at 48,000. Dan Lanny, yeah, 500,000 last year. Yep. It wasn't all in the live markets though. Some people think that it was all in the live, but nope. I'm still a perma bull, but I've been shorting the market a lot more lately. Yeah, and I started from zero just like everybody else. J Money. Hey, we don't go there. But technically you can say my time at Topstep, with these Topstep accounts, I have made more money in XFAs than I have my live account right now. Yeah. Now, don't get it wrong, everybody. I trade my personal accounts. I've been trading my personal accounts as part of my income. It's what I do. I am a day trader. I've been a day trader for a very long time now, and that's how I make my living. And I made my living through trading before Topstep. I joined Topstep about a year and almost a year and a half now. Man, time goes by fast. Yeah, I would say almost a year and a half now. And my main source of income has been trading. It's been trading for quite a while now. And so it's trading before Topstep. It'll be trading for the rest of my life, as long as these markets stay tradable, I guess. What's Hugo's way? How did you join Topstep? How did they find you? I need to do a vlog or something, right? I need to do a vlog for any of the new traders joining Topstep. $30 for 30 Dakota edition. 30 for 30. What would a vlog look like? I don't know about a vlog. I have never been one to share personal life. It's like any personal details. I know I've talked to Danielle. I've talked to Danielle. If she's in the chat, she knows. She knows exactly what I'm referring to. Is trying to get a vlog out there or media content. Like, yeah, who's Dakota? Who's like, where did you come from? How are you trading? What made you trade? Doing all this. I haven't really been too interested in doing that type of stuff because my goal has never been, since joining Topstep, my goal is not to make money from affiliates or money from traders. Like that's not my goal. My goal is not to make money from traders. My goal was going into this was to help. As like, I want to help new traders. I love hearing stories. Like if I could show some of the messages I get, from a lot of people, it's nice. I find that more rewarding than any amount of money. I know that's weird to say, but I could go play the affiliate game if I really wanted to. I could play the affiliate game. I could sell a course. I could sell a Discord if I wanted to, and probably make an extra $1 million in a year. But it's at one point, there's a point where money becomes not the priority. What is your current balance in the live account since the switch from the XFA plus live to live only? So I told you that the peak of my live account balance was 330,000, and I withdrew most of it. And right now my account balance is hovering between 40 and 60,000. I don't know the exact how much was made in XFAs versus how much was made in live, but the XFAs was dramatically more. XFAs is much easier. I don't know why. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe I don't know what it is. Sorry, I just joined. Can you talk about why you were short? I'll review this trade in a moment. If you're not, the beautiful thing about YouTube is you can replay. It is recorded, and you can go back and you can go replay it. It's causing of leverage of 5 accounts, bro. Yeah, but the thing is, so there's a misconception, Zach. It's not because of the 5 accounts. When I was trading the XFAs, I could copy trade 5 accounts, correct? Right? Everybody knows that. It was not just that, because with my live account, I had the conversation with Mick from the risk team. I had other conversations with members from the risk team, and that's what it was. It really was. It was like, hey, you made all that money in XFAs. What can I do? What can we do for you to trade exactly the same? Right? Like, you made $100,000 in 1 week in your XFAs. Can you do that in your live account? I'm like, yeah, there shouldn't be a difference. And then, I traded well. I was making money. December sucked. January, February, I struggled. And I'm doing okay here in April. I'm positive in April. But the conversation was like, what's the difference between XFA and live for me, right? And it's not just me, it's everyone, right? That's a very general, and it's a very good question that a prop firm could ask. It's like, how can we get traders to transition from combines to XFAs, perform good in XFAs, and then still make that transition from XFAs to a live account and then perform in a live account? And they're like, if you want to trade exactly how you're trading in XFAs, meaning have access to the same position size, which they said I could. Like, at the very beginning, I'm like, yeah, I could have 30 contracts. I traded 30 contracts. I expand my daily loss limit to $15,000 at one point, I think. And so in my live account, had a daily loss limit, 15,000, trading 30 minis. And it's odds are it was kind of a psychological reason, because in my personal account, I trade a little bit bigger. I do trade a little bit bigger than what any of the conversation has. And sure, so I could hedge with options, and I have a lot more leniency in the personal account. And yeah, I love options. Wild forehead. Live accounts suck because at the beginning they put the daily loss limit. Well, the nice thing is, when you get to a live account, you have that conversation with the risk management team. Like I said, I had the risk management team expand my daily loss limit to $15,000. James Hansen, yes. Yep, the risk management team and Mick will allow 50 contracts. I was trading 30 minis. I'll find that video. If you have that video, it's recorded on YouTube. Yeah, 30 minis. I was holding 30 minis overnight and easily could do more. It was just a matter of consistency and showing profitability and account balance. That's what she said. Ben, you should have an email when they send it. Yeah, the 30 mini trade was, I think I made, it was 10 or 15,000 on it. $30's crazy in this market environment. Now remember, that's a different market environment. Everyone needs to understand. 30 minis in a market, what we're seeing now, is crazy. That's a whole lot. lot different than 30 minis in the market environment that we were seeing back in, what was it, June? 30 minis when the average range for a slow markets is like 20 points. And I think I made like 15 points on that one. I don't know. Like we're moving that every minute. It seems like every minute. Look at the yeah. Move my stop loss. Close out the trade. RJ, hey coach, can you give me 20,000 they paid you from your XFAs? What? Most of the money, I can't say most, but I've been taking payouts, and whenever I take a payout, I've really just been donating. I donate a lot to charity. Bull is coming. All right, let's add to this. Stop loss is still there. Stop loss is still there. Let's see if we could get that move. Just a little early to the party so far. Let's go sell this baby off. Yeah, maybe I'll take another payout. We'll see how my trading goes. If I do well in the next couple weeks, I'll take a payout, and my payout usually just goes straight to charity in these Topstep accounts. Is there a date yet when we can trade personal accounts on Topstep X? I don't know. There's been conversation, but I don't know the date. ES greater than 5,500. So what's a good cushion to have in an XFA? It depends on how you're trading. Does anyone actually know what causes such a crazy gap on the open? Well, I think it was a mix of earnings and probably Trump saying something. I still think I'm out. 180 round trip. PAs on Topstep X. Tesla earnings were negative, but yet this market's pumping. Tariff news. Okay. Just a casual 400 point gap up. Hey, coach, what happened to scaling in? Add in where your stop is. Well, I scaled in, right? I added. My stop hasn't moved. But we're going to find out if the stop loss is a better entry. Trump said he will not fire Powell. Yeah, it's drama, man. It's better drama than any TV show out there. The market is dying to rally on any news. I could agree on that. I could agree that this market seems very hungry for positive news. Like you mention any positive news, and this market is ready to bounce. And I think we've seen that. I think that's what this is, right? Like any positive news, fake news, this news, any sort of positivity, this market's jumping in. Yeah, I know charity is a write-off. Sure. Coach, my strategy is DCA until I make money. Is that good? Well, if you can do it and control risk and it has a positive expectancy over a long period of time, there's nothing wrong with it. DCA is traders have such a bad perspective on that. And some prop firms and people have put DCAing in such a bad light. Like, it's not bad. Like, dollar cost averaging is basically meant for stocks, right? It's more about scaling in. And I don't like to say this because I'm not much for negativity, but social media and like the I'm gonna Twitterverse, the IQ and understanding of some of these concepts is incorrect. It really is. Where trader or someone might refer to DCAing, you understand what they're saying, but that's incorrect, right? They're using it incorrectly, and it's a weird thing. But I rather refer to it as scaling in, right? We're day traders. DCAing I refer to as, I want to dollar cost average when I'm looking to buy a stock that I want to hold for a long period of time. If I like NVIDIA and I want to own NVIDIA for the next 10 years and NVIDIA sells off, and I will buy some of the stock. And if it continues to sell off, I'll buy some more stock, and that will average, dollar cost average. That's the way I look at it. Maybe not 10 years, maybe it's a longer period. But when I'm day trading, I scale into it. Now, maybe you could use those interchangeable. Maybe you could say, DCA, scaling in, scaling out. I'm scaling in, same thing, whatever. But the idea is that there's such a bad sentiment around it. It's okay if you can manage your risk, right? If you know what your risk is, if you know where your point of invalidation is, like, this is my stop loss. My stop loss, what was it? 30, 38, 37. If we start to break through this, I'm going to move this down. My stop loss is here at 729. I don't mind building a position, but I'm not going to move my stop now, move it here, keep adding, move it here, and then end up blowing my account. It's tempting, right? I see people do it all the time. But as long as you can manage risk properly, right? Not blowing accounts, not just keep adding and hoping it reverses. There's a correct way to do it, and it's a very useful tool. It really is. Yeah. It can be a very useful tool to scale into position. Apex is against it because in a big range, you can add and not take a loss and then exit at break even. To me, Charles, if you can make money and manage risk, who cares? Who cares? You make money, you manage risk, and you do it consistently over a long period of time. Do it. Do it. Dakota, this is more of a personal question, but if you were in your beginning stages of trading again, would you switch jobs in order to be able to trade at the time and session you want? Yeah. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. So that's a good question. Would I switch jobs so I could trade the session I wanted to? And my answer is, it depends. If there's an opportunity for me to switch a job and learn how to trade the session I wanted to trade because I want to become a full-time trader, then I would do that. You have to obviously make that decision for yourself, right? Is it worth it? You're going to have that time. Do I want to be a full-time trader? Do I want to trade? Yeah. Trader dog. Some people are just obsessed, negative. I switched my work hours so I could trade the regular trading hours open. Okay. Fair. Forgive me for I'm horrible with names. I think Baron just quit his job, right? Because he's doing good. That's why I come here. It's positive here. Sometimes I am more negative on myself sometimes than I am anywhere else. I have what do you call it? Strong opinions, loosely held. What's the max position I'll ever scale into? I've scaled in, like I said, I scaled into 30 minis. There's no max position I would scale into. It just depends on the risk. I'd scale into 50 if the risk was right, is correct. I'll scale into 100 if the risk is correct. It's all about the risk. Does Topstep have drawdown rules? Just a daily loss limit. I don't have a Discord. Topstep's Discord, I have a channel. I am not very active in it. 35 contracts because that's the max they allow. Topstep will allow, who knows? I don't think there's a limit on how much Topstep would allow when you work with the risk team. Like I said, I could call the risk team tomorrow and I could have a conversation and I could bump up the size that I could trade. Charles Chapman, yes, that's a good statement. I like that statement. Position sizing tactics can allow for large position with a tight stop loss at key levels. Correct. Yep. Yeah, like if this market starts to sell off, I could continue to move my stop loss down and add to this position all the way on the way down. I need a radio show. I need a radio show. I need MP to join me. I need MP to join me. And MP needs to join me for slow markets. I have a lot of conversation to talk about with him. There's a lot going on, talking about regulations, talking about some of this stuff. Would I hold this all the way down? Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. It depends what you say by all the way down. I'd love to see his gap fill. I want to see this gap fill. That's what this trade is for. Chambers, how do I stop? I tell you what, it takes some effort to be humble. I don't think I'm humble. And I think about it all the time. It's something that you always have to continue to try. I'm not that humble. And I don't make that much money. There's always bigger fish. Always bigger fish. Maybe humble compared to what you guys see. All right, moving my stop loss. Move my stop loss to 710. And we'll see. I'll try and demonstrate scaling into a big position. And I'll show you. It'll be better to demonstrate when I'm talking about risk for dollars, right? So look at this. I am now risking only 1,200, but I can add, right? So I could add and get my risk back to where it normally was, right? I could add, and even though my stop loss gets tighter, I keep my risk the same. So let's go ahead and add here. We'll add to where my risk was where originally. So that was my normal risk. Yeah. So when I first put this trade on, when my stop loss was way up here, my risk was exactly the same. So about 3,000 risking. Yeah, that's about the same, right? Just add position. And now if we break down, this is a big if. Let's just say we break down. Maybe we could demonstrate this tonight. If this market starts to sell off and it gives me another way to move my stop loss. So let's say the market continues to sell off and I can find a way to move my stop loss. Let's say I move my stop loss down to, almost break even, right? Like 5 down to 95. But I'm still okay with this trade, and I still am okay with risking the $2,700 or the $3,000 or what, $2,200, whatever. I'm still okay with this risk. I could still add to this. I could add to this position without having bigger risk, right? Just because just because, yeah, of course you can make an argument to say, well, technically your risk can be from where the market is to there, right? So you're actually risking your unrealized P&L. But I look at the risk as, I don't look at the unrealized P&L. I look at what I'm actually risking. If this market just jumps, my risk is $3,600 right here. So let's see. If this market sells off, I will add. I will add to this. Yeah, this is 10 minis. It started with 5, right? So it's, and so sometimes I say it's about the risk. It's a sell market. Everyone, yeah, that's what happens, right? Everyone pays attention to the dollar amount. Everyone cares so much about the dollar, about money, when it really needs to be only utilized as a tool. Money is a tool. Money is a tool for us as traders. Why take the loss instead of break even? Well, there's no reason for me to move my stop loss to break even. The way I trade, right? I'm moving it because there's some resistance. That's the next area of resistance I see. Now, I could do that again, because if we start to break down, then the next area of resistance is now going to be these 90s, and therefore I can move my stop loss. Right? So I only want to move my stop loss for a reason. Now, the way I trade, can be different from someone else, is it doesn't matter what the dollar amounts are, and it doesn't matter about winning or losing from a trade to trade basis. If I move my stop loss to break even for no reason other than I don't want to lose money, to me that's not the right way I trade. Now, it could be correct for somebody else, and it might be a good process for you. For me, I just have to move my stop loss and take profit if there's a correct reason. There needs to be a correct reason. A technical reason. There you go. Not correct. A technical. For me, a correct is technical analysis. Because I'm a technical analysis trader. I trade technicals. So let's see if we could find some consolidation here, and then I will do the same thing, right? If I move my stop loss, I'm going to show this as an example. If I move my stop loss down to, I can see moving my stop loss. Let's move my stop loss down to 703. I can add, right? Because now my risk is 2,100. And if I'm still okay with that same amount of risk, and if I still believe and have this as a valid trade for trying to fill some of this gap, I can add, right? Oh, wrong button. So I could add back to my normal risk. So I add to, risk is still the same. Now I can't move it back up here because now that increases it. My stop loss is still the same, all right, for the dollar amounts. Now if we continue to break down, I can add more. I'm adding by selling more contracts. Yes, I have sold short 12, and I could add more without risking more. Does this make sense? Am I even making sense to everyone? Coach Dakota, can you show an example of a technical reason to exit a trade? Yeah, we'll go over it. This is going to be a good example. So let's see. If we break down, I could then technically, I would look at this level that we just made as an area of resistance, and I would be okay with moving my stop loss down, and then I could add more. All right, so now we're starting to break down. So I can move my stop loss down. All right, and then I could add more. So let's add more. So I'm risking 1,500. We'll move the risk back to where. Okay, we can add some more. Okay, risk is back to where it is, 36. Right, risk is back to 36, and this trade's still valid because we have yet to get to start to fill the gap. Right, and here's the next one. I could technically say this is an area of resistance, and I can move my stop loss to here, and then I can add. If I still want to be, if I'm still okay with $3,600 loss on this trade, I could add until this becomes to negative 36, right? Damn it! Why did I not just do this in my live account? Come on, everybody. Why am I not doing this in my live account? Oh, I gotta be fucking kidding me. What am I doing, chat? Well, maybe I could become a simfluencer and freaking peddle affiliate codes. I say that every day, it feels like. Yeah. Yeah, let's fill this gap now. Let's fill. Oh. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It is what, yeah. It's just. Yeah, this is me. And now yeah, if this was in a combine, I would add more here. This is where I would get into, yeah, you could see this is a great example of me getting into 30 contracts. I would scale in, I would add more, I would continue to add, and looking for a break of this. Now, targets, I mean, this could be a long stretch target. There's some resistance here during the New York session. And then maybe a gap fill. Now that's a very stretched out target, but yeah, this is not bad. These lower 500s, 517 is not a bad target. Yeah, this one hurt everyone. This one's in it. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if this market's going to fill that gap. Let's see if we go. Yeah, timing, baby. Timing. Yeah, I usually trade in my live account, Frank, but I took a loss in my live account earlier, and so I switched to a combine, and I'm trying to demonstrate scaling into a position, and this is just such a great demonstration of actually scaling into a position, and it's just too good. We just watch it now. We watch this. We enjoy it, right? Who's short? Who is short? That's the question. Oh, Tony noticed. $20. $20 plus a $10 tip. It's never too late. It's never too late. Who's short this market? Profit 600 USD. We fill in the gap. We fill in this gap. You was, but got out too short, too soon. Short. I'm long. I got short the 3 bar. Not you. You're in bed. Bonds have firmed up as well. What target? You raised your hand like you was in class. Who's short? Anybody short this market? Well, do you guys need a better lesson on scaling in? Right? Scale. Was that not a beautiful demonstration of scaling in with the stop loss not moving? The stop loss was at 36. I scaled in as it was going against me. Dollar cost averaging, aka some people might say it. And then scaling in while the trade was going in my favor. So there's a good example of both. Good example of both. And now we watch it. And that's all. That's all that's left is just watch it. Look for areas to move the stop loss. Because now that we're filling this gap, it's just, yeah, maxed allocation now. Coach who took a scalp. It's psychologically hard to see the price, your average price, get closer when you're in a winning trade. Yeah, it is. It is. Gold's running. We can take a glimpse at the gold going straight up. Man, hoop. Buy gold. Buy gold. It's going. Gold is going. Gold is going. Oh no, it's not the bottom. I'm 500 up and done for the day. Gold filled the gap. I was long MGC and got stopped out early. So it was platinum and copper. Love how your brokers have your open is higher than mine in the trade of 8. I have been in a gold position since last night. Thinking negatives now. Hope it goes back to where it was. You're not crazy for taking profits and leaving a runner. Upside, once again, gold market down. MES. Sell here. Someone's knocking at my door. Hold up. Right. The comments I could make right now. The comments I can make. No, yeah, nope. No. Oh man. No, I gotta just hold my tongue. I was going to make some funny comments, but no, just gonna hold my tongue. Good stuff. Good stuff. You get caught by someone? No, it's not. It's no dates. No one I knew. Peter Kath. No, I don't. I do not. The only person I've met that's honestly, everybody, the only person I've really met in this trading world has been Rips and NP. I've met Michael Patak in Moab, had great conversation with him, and I spent a weekend in Las Vegas with Rips. Those are the only two people I've met in this trading world, to be honest. Yeah, great personalities. From my experience, I haven't met anybody else. Now, obviously, I form opinions about people on how they hold themselves and how they demonstrate and act on stream and how they treat other people. What are we trading here? The NASDAQ. These are the NASDAQ futures. We are short and we built this position short. Short. Golf. Chicago meetup in May. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna find out. I might be going to Chicago. The trading pit, the trading studio. Yeah, maybe Jay. Been wanting to go to New York with Jay. Go fly out there, hang out with Jay and play some basketball, and that'd be fun. Okay, let's do this. Let's see if I can now demonstrate scaling out and trailing a stop loss. Let's see if we can now demonstrate scaling out and trailing a stop loss. MP needs a custom octagonal sunken living room. Charles, have you seen the new studio that Topstep's building? Your NQ open is different than mine on TradingView. Drill, BB, drill. Looks great. You already passed the combine. How come you're still trading this? I already have a live account. It doesn't matter whether I pass the combine or not. I come to Orlando, come to Florida and hang out. If I go to Florida, I'm hanging out with maybe my guy David Green. Yeah, maybe I go hang out with the Einstein guy on the New York Stock Exchange. I don't know what I'd do there. All right, let's see if we could break through and fill more of this gap. We've tried, and we are failing. We are failing. Hey, you want to see something, everybody? Do you guys want to see something cool? That people probably don't teach you this because it's a lot less common. Did you know you could have a little bit of a stop loss? Did you know that you have a partial stop loss? Everybody do this? Ready? You could have a partial stop loss. Right? Do you guys do? Who uses that? Yeah, you close out partial stop loss. Yes, I've done that. Definitely, I do it. Okay. Everyone, you can chat knows what's up. Yeah, they're rah. Yeah, it's partial stop loss. I could have, yeah. Hey, this is my emergency. This is my stop loss to get out of the trade. If we get above this, I want to get out of a portion of it. When would you ever implement that? I don't know. I do it sometimes on bigger positions that I swing trade. Like for example, let's say I want to hold one contract as a runner. Here, let's do an example of maybe how one could use that, right? Let's say I want to hold one contract as a runner no matter what, but I want to be more aggressive with closing out of a portion. Okay, let's say I want to be aggressive closing out of a portion. And I want to have one runner no matter what at break even. There we go. One runner no matter what, it's at break even. So no matter what happens, I'm going to have one runner. I'm doing that just so I could see it. And so if that's the case, then I want to make sure I close out, and it's like, because I'm not going to bottom. Odds of me bottom ticking, it's difficult. So there can be reasons to close out of a portion of it. Like, yeah, if we break above this, right? Maybe we break above this pivot or the pivot we're making right now. Then I want to get out of a portion. So it's all right, I'd get out of a portion of it if we break above that, and then I'm taking profit, right? Even though I want to leave a runner on, I can still lock in profit if this market does start to move against me, right? You could a portion of it. Maybe you could close out of a little bit more if it does go against you more, right? So you don't have to have a full, pure, all-out stop loss. You could get out of some of it, right? Because that's the question that sometimes traders wonder. It's like, man, do I have a wide stop loss? Because what if this thing completely reverses, right? Or do I have a really tight stop loss and then it reverses a little bit and then it turns back around? Because I want a runner, but I can't have a runner if I have a tight stop loss. So you could do both. If you have multiple contracts, though, of course. If you have just one contract, you can't really do that. You have to be all in, all out. But that's another cool trick, right? I mean, that's the beautiful thing. There's so much that maybe I need to just teach. Maybe I need to teach more. Care less about my trading and teach more about things like this. So watch. Let's see how this. I want to see how this functions. Yeah, look, there we go. See, now my main stop loss is down to 12. Do both. I'm trying to do both. All right, let's do that. Yeah, see, if that was the case, if that's where my stop loss was, I'd be out. I'd be 100% out. And then if it just turned around and started selling off, I'm like, dang it, I wish I would have had a runner. Don't pay attention to my P&L, everyone. Don't. This is just a coach's combine. Like I said, I already have a live account. No, keep selling. You're having one right now for free. Yeah, the stuff you could do in these markets anymore. The cool little nuances of like, yeah, maybe I don't want to get all the way out. Maybe I just want to have, partials. I want to close out partials while keeping my stop loss, the same. But of course, when you get out, you can see the average price moves because it's first in, first out, and then adjusting your stop losses. So yeah, you could be tight. You can have a tight stop loss with some of them. You can have a loose stop loss with a few contracts. Like there's so much flexibility. Someone says double bottom. We have 2 minutes. Oh, man, I'm ready for bed. Sometimes I put it in multiple trailing stops to tick away to scale out. Okay. Oof, Greg. B, that's crazy. That's crazy. What's for dinner? I don't even know yet. I'm supposed to go to a movie tonight. What movie? While we watch this one play out. I don't even know what movie I'm even going to go to. I haven't picked it out yet. Sinners, warfare. Warfare. Sinners and Warfare is not even playing. That's a movie near me. Let's see. Minecraft movie? Is that really a thing? Is Minecraft movie a thing? Sinners? Everyone's saying Sinners is good. Minecraft movie or Sinners? All right, where's a poll? I'm doing a poll. Because I am going to let the chat decide where I go on my date. Remember, this is a date, everybody. So you got to, this is, if it turns out bad, it's on you. Dang it, man. My chat chose this movie. Sorry I didn't like it. All right, we're going. Sinners or Minecraft. I got to add another option. The other one is Warfare. And now this is for a date, okay? So keep that in mind. Now I know the typical demographic of the YouTube chat is usually men, but keep that in mind. Let's move this stop loss down. See, that's why there's a good example of how useful it could be. We'll see. And then if she likes it, then I'll take the credit. If she likes the movie, I'll take the credit. See the stop loss? See that's a great use of, that's a good example. There's a good example of using, man, tonight's full of good examples. Well, I'm paying, so I'm not, I have to buy the tickets. All right, let's see it. Okay, sinners it is. We're pulling up. Hey, if this date goes bad, I'll just blame you guys. I'll just like, hey, sorry. I can stop the poll whenever the one I want is vote. Sinners. Okay. We're still waiting for this trade to play out. Sinners is a horror movie. What are you guys going to get me into? Is it really a horror movie? Watching this trade, we haven't really filled this gap. We broke into the gap and we're just kind of staying here. Take her to a comedy. Girls like to laugh. Man, but I already ran the poll. Yeah, there's no... I don't know. You know, I have to go by my word. I'm not a man. What kind of man am I at if I don't trust my word? I left it up to the poll. I left it up to the chat. So I'm just sinners. It is. Sinners. It is. That's just what it is. And I left it up to the poll because tax write-off. Right? Tax write-off. Hey, I'm a man of my word. I left it up to the poll. It's gonna come bite me in the butt, right? If chat picks my, it's done now. It's done now. It's done. What's done is done. Sorry. Okay. Okay. We're going to sinners. And this trade's still not, it's just kind of chilling here. I thought we would break down a lot quicker than we did. Wait for Lilo and Stitch. Imagine, first date, we're going to sinners. Okay, everybody. You got the idea. Good example, scaling in. Good example, being able to use different orders, right? These are different orders on how to go and get into the market and getting out to the market. So there is your example for today, using these different orders. Make sure when you close, you got to make sure all the orders are done. So take care, everybody. Find out tomorrow if this date goes good. Wish me luck. Bye.